Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm feeling good. A little tired from traveling, but just getting Pete lit. The Quinn Olympics. The Quinn Olympics have started being released, which is great. I'm excited. It was really fun to shoot. The flight home was good. Took a late flight last night and got in early this morning. So, I'm a little bit jet lagged. Pete the Dragon was named after Pete the Dragon. But I think that was an idea of somebody in the community, actually. Nashville was great. It was a lot of fun to walk around. Heard a lot of music. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, what we usually do on Monday Lives is hang out, read some stories and poems, enjoy ourselves. And I was going to say, for people who are making requests in the Patreon, you don't always have to do poetry or stories or those sorts of things. You can also post questions if you want. You did stumble on the live at the start. Congratulations. Hi, everyone. How are you? Have you been enjoying your summer? Have things been keeping on in the best way possible? Did I pick up any Orcus-themed flame boots or a hat? I wish. I did look around. I didn't see anything that quite fit my fancy, but it was fun. Oh, TMI of my trip. I had hot chicken in Nashville. It was very spicy, very spicy, and it was spicy coming out too. I'm sure that's TMI. Oh no, I there was once upon a time when I could eat the spiciest possible things along with the best of them. But in the past few years, I have been increasing my sensitivity. I haven't had a lot of spicy food, so really, even like the faintest hint of chili pepper will get me going these days. Well, like we usually do, via my Patreon, I solicit requests for reading, and we just, and if you have any requests that you would like to put in the chat, and if I see them, I will certainly try to get to them. But yeah, let's just hang out, enjoy some things, and whatever your particular place that you're in as you're listening, just let it be, and try to open yourself up to hearing something new. It's always fun. Um, does the tea bag have a quote for the day? I guess I should make this a tradition, shouldn't I? The tea bag quote of the day is talking to plants is one way of talking directly to spirit. That's the quote of the day, and it comes from Rosemary Gladstar. Don't forget to talk to plants. So the first request is called Breaking Surface by Mark Nepo. Let no one keep you from your journey. No rabbi or priest, no mother who wants you to dig for treasures she misplaced. No father who won't let one life be enough. No lover who measures their worth by what you might give up. No voice that tells you in the night it can't be done. Let nothing dissuade you from seeing what you see or feeling the winds that make you want to dance alone or go where no one has yet to go. You're the only explorer, your heart, the unreadable compass, your soul, the shore of a promise too great to be ignored. Breaking Surface by Mark Nepo. Okay, I'm going to share a little concept that I'm working on, that I kind of just popped into my head over the weekend. But I feel like it's something that could be liberating for people. The idea is living solo, which is different than living single. Because the idea of being single is is sort of synonymous with, I'm single, but I'm single juxtaposed against the idea of being in relationship. And I think that there's some real wisdom in the idea of what I'm calling living solo, which is that I choose a relationship with myself. My primary relationship is with myself, over all other relationships. It's not that I don't prioritize or I don't love the other relationships that I have, but I am staying true to the relationship I have inside, first, before the others. And that's a difficult thing to do in our society, but it is something that, this poem that I read just now has relevance to. And it means that it's not selfishness, it is sort of self-fullness, self-wholeness. So that the idea being, if I'm bringing myself into being as a whole person, then I can be more available for everyone else around me. And living solo does not mean living alone necessarily, or living without people. You can live solo and also be in relationship, or live solo and, have a very, very social life. Living solo just means, prioritizing one's own health and well-being above that of others. And I realize there are all kinds of nuances to that, and I'm working on it. There are certain ways in which prioritizing oneself over others is not necessarily conducive to having kids, for example. But I actually don't know that those things are mutually opposed. It's just a different frame of mind. Yeah, it is very much like the poem that I shared, Alone by Osho. Which, I don't know. Maybe I'll read that. How about I read it? I haven't read it in a long time. I feel like it would be helpful for people. Let's see. So this is Alone by Osho. First, become alone. First, start enjoying yourself. First, love yourself. First, become so authentically happy that if nobody comes, it doesn't matter. You are full, overflowing. If nobody knocks at your door, it is perfectly okay. You are not missing. You are not waiting for somebody to come and knock at the door. You are at home. If somebody comes, good, beautiful. If nobody comes, that too is beautiful and good. Then move into relationship. Now you move like a master, not like a beggar. And the person who has lived in his aloneness will always be attracted to another person who is also living his aloneness beautifully. Because the same attracts the same. When two masters meet, masters of their being, of their aloneness, happiness is not just added, it is multiplied. It becomes a tremendous phenomenon of celebration, and they don't exploit, they share. They don't use each other. Rather, on the contrary, they both become one and enjoy the existence that surrounds them. First Become Alone by Osho. I actually think that a lot of the work that I do already, obviously if you are a listener of mine, being able to celebrate one's pleasure in listening to an audio, to being allowed to be in your own experience, and necessarily not being forced to put your attention elsewhere is really powerful. And I applaud, I really celebrate you who are able to do that. How do we not feel guilt or shame when we put ourselves first? Yeah, I mean, that's a hard one. But the way that you do that is by offering compassion and love to those parts of you that feel that way. Because somebody somewhere at some point taught you that being alone with yourself was unsafe. That if you did that there was something wrong. And that's the thing to look at, because if you start from the premise that all of us are whole beings unto ourselves, worthy of love, worthy of alignment and grounding and gratitude and all of those things, and we come at the world from that place, how does that shift everything, you know? You can find a list of books I've narrated by going through my profile and to the website, and you can click through to Orcus Auditory, and there are links there that help you find the books that I've narrated. I mean, you also there's sort of a clear premise that at the base level, all of us are good inside, everybody. So anything that is not in the realm of feeling good and loved inside means that you are taught that something isn't that way. And it's important to recognize that that's a learned thing, and and that it's a healing process to unlearn it. How were the Olympics? I assume you mean the Paris Olympics? I saw some of the opening ceremony. I'm actually going back and rewatching it because I haven't finished it. The Quinn Olympics were very fun. I'm not gonna share how the competitions went, but they were harrowing and close. We had very good competition. Very vigorous. Very vigorous, Father. To quote the Mask of Zorro. Honestly, I never imagined that being in the world of spicy audio creation would mean doing team building. Because all of us are kind of cave creatures in of our own right. Sitting in a room with a microphone making fun sounds is a very, it's a very solitary existence. Hello, welcome. So, I'm just going to continue reading some requests. Obviously, if you have questions or, any follow-ups, feel free. Am I in this sound booth right now? Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see, you can kind of see it here. There's soundproofing here, and I have it all around on my ceiling. Yeah. I've got a window right to my left over here. It's a vibe being in here. It's the kind of thing that I wanted to cultivate where, the room sort of reflects the vibe that I'm going for with Orcus. These walls have seen some things. All right. I have a request for The Journey by Mary Oliver. One day, you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried. But you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough, and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. The Journey by Mary Oliver. Welcome, welcome to the live, where we make you vibrate between your ears. Oh no, oh no. Don't go too far. Shh. Just relax. It's all gonna be okay. What do you need? Perhaps a little breathing. Better breathe deeply. Better let your body feel what it's going to feel. A little excerpt from Queen's song Bijou. You and me, we are destined. you'll agree, to spend the rest of our lives with each other, the rest of our lives, like two lovers, forever. My bijou. If there are any of you that are skeptical that it's possible to feel anything intense hands-free, I invite you to listen to a few of my audios and see what you think. I know that I stand a little bit differently than many other creators when it comes to honorifics, but you can call me whatever you want, whatever feels appropriate for what you see in me. Because the reason that I take that stance is because what I do here, the content that I create is for you. So if it helps you in some way to refer to me in a particular way, then feel free. I know a lot of more personal relationships require consent and agreement around honorifics, but that's, being in a public forum, it's not required for me. Yes, if you want to call me Schmoopykins, you can. Hello, kitten lips. This is getting saucy. Okay, the next request is a little speech by Helena from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind, nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste, wings and no eyes figure unheedy haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in game themselves forswear, so the boy love is perjured everywhere. I think I've not been invited to read for any particular people or organizations, except with, audiobooks. Most of the books, in fact, all of the books that I do or have done are on Audible. I have a request for something from Shakespeare, which, I'll just go to an old favorite you've heard before. From Much Ado About Nothing. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One foot in sea and one on shore, to one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of men was ever so, since summer first was leafy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. From Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Enjoy your lunch. I really take this poem to mean something along the lines of, don't let any man, or really any person, steal your joy. Set the boundaries you need to, honor yourself the way you need to, and reclaim your joy for your own. What songs do I like to sing these days? Honestly, my jet lag brain is not landing on an immediate answer to that. I mean, I certainly sing along a lot of songs to my littles, but as far as songs to myself, I'm not landing on something right at this particular moment in time. No, the poem was recited by famous actress, British actress. Emma Thompson, right. Recited by Emma Thompson, not Kenneth Branagh. That's right. Did I watch anything good on the flight back? I mean, I finally watched Quantum Mania on the flight back because it got terrible reviews. I honestly didn't mind it. It kind of, was like, it followed the formula, and, it did pretty well, or as far as Marvel movies go. Like, it wasn't terrible in my mind, but I don't know, a lot of people hated it. New projects. I always have something brewing. It's never something not true about me. The next request is a passage out of a children's book, The Wraparound Monster by Kay Shams. And it goes like this. The wraparound monster could not be found. After 155 years of useless try, the pharaohs called off the search. The legend believes that the wraparound monster went into the underworld, and he is in a deep sleep. When he moves in his sleep, he shakes the earth and causes wildfires in the forest. The legend believes that the wraparound monster is the cause of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The wraparound monster is invisible. He comes on the earth often and looks to find naive and weak people to trick and use in different ways, like making them fight each other, or position their air and water and do, or poison their air and water and do different crazy things. Then he makes them believe it is for their own good. The story of the wraparound monster has outlasted all other monster stories. Let's wait and see who his next victim might be. Who may get it, and what the wraparound monster may do to his victims next time he reappears. An excerpt from The Wraparound Monster by Kay Shams. And now a poem by Rosemary Watola Trommer called Yes, That's When. I like my body when I'm in the woods, and I forget my body. I forget that arms, that legs, that nose. I forget that waist, that nerve, that skin. And I aspen, I mountain, I river, I stone, I leaf, I path, I flower. I like when I evergreen, currant, and berry. I like when I mushroom, avalanche, cliff. And everything is yes then, and everything is new, wild iris, duff, waterfall, dew. Yes, That's When, by Rosemary Watola Trommer. Oh, I love that. So, okay, here's a cool little technique. I'm just going to share with you a little trick. If you're ever in a place where everything just feels overwhelming and you are just completely frazzled, you can do this. Now just close your eyes for a minute and then take a deep breath and let the breath move through your body as you breathe out, down through your body and out through your feet, and feel your feet connecting to everything. Let your conscious awareness just realize and open up to everything and connecting to it and drawing in the energy of everything to anchor you and remind you that you are here, that you are part of it, that you are not alone. And that you can draw in that the help of everything around you. And I mean everything, like the air, water, wind, earth, fire, the books, the floor, like everything. Just open your awareness and just become one with it. And if you breathe through that, it will move your anxiety very quickly. Yeah, it's sort of like Captain Planet. The next request is a poem by Tom Herons called called In the Meantime. Meanwhile, flowers still bloom. The moon rises and the sun. Babies smile, and somewhere against all the odds, two people are falling in love. Strangers share cigarettes and jokes. Light plays on the surface of water. Grace occurs on unlikely streets, and we hold each other fast against entropy, the fires, and the flood. Life leans toward living, and while death claims all things at the end, there were such precious times between in which everything was radiant, and we loved again this world. Let's see. That poem that I just read was In the Meantime by Tom Herons. So, I've had a number of people ask me privately about what exactly it means to feel spirit. Because I don't actually think that the idea of spirit or spirituality is separate from all the other stuff that we're doing. Even, the audio work that I do, a lot of what I'm tapping into underneath all of the work that I do and the stuff that you listen to is coming through me in one form or another. But I'm gonna kind of summarize. I'm gonna take a little concept and just, run with it for a second. The idea of spirit is, here's one definition of it that I like. Imagine yourself, your awareness, the thing that is seeing through your eyes, that is thinking your thoughts, that is going through the experience that you're having. Imagine that there is a light. It's sort of like a light source. From that light source, the light source is shining through a stained glass window. Now, if you imagine the stained glass window is your particular configuration of thoughts and feelings and experiences, identity, your life. is the stained glass window. But the thing that is aware of, that is providing the sort of awareness, the fuel source behind all of that experience in the stained glass window, is the light source that's back here. The light source is separate from the stained glass window. So there are many arguments about, what this light source is. The light source can be soul, or that's our astral body, or, it can be the thing that is sort of fueling behind, moving through multiple lifetimes, or whatever. There are a lot of different theories. I think we are becoming more and more aware of this light source the more that we are studying quantum physics and the nature of it. But the thing that I feel is, and this isn't for everybody, but for a lot of people, there is sort of this journey to being able to differentiate the stained glass window from this light source, and realizing that the light source is what, if we connect authentically to the light source and allow the stained glass window to release its pain, its trauma, its fear, whatever it is, like discovering the true purpose behind what we are here to do, then that's what spirituality is about. So I feel like, that's about the least woo-woo way of explaining it that I can think of. Because, I come from a very logic and science and math background. I grew up under a mechanical engineer father who was into sci-fi. Religion was never my thing. But I have had enough experiences to believe in the idea of spirit. No, I don't think I'm going to merge Love and Audio and Orcus Auditory. I still think those are two separate things. But I'm working on building both of them in tandem with each other. My mother was a school teacher. She taught young children, kindergarten, first grade, that sort of thing. She did it for over 30 years. Yeah, if you are not aware, you can also go through my link and find Love and Audio. It is a separate place where you can go and find audios of mine that are more healing-based, sort of tools for life, meditations on different aspects of who we are, what we're here about, needing support in different ways, dealing with anxiety, dealing with guilt. Sleep audios are there. And, I've got a bunch of ideas for things to build on. And here's a poem request by... Oh, good question. Yeah, I'm doing separate content for both. Are we meant to connect with the light source, or is it just there? There's just this idea of being able to observe and stand outside of the experience as respective of being in it and reacting within it. Because if you're able to step outside of the experience, then it makes it easier for us to make a different choice than perhaps we would make normally. And recognizing that, this whole light source stained glass window concept is a way of articulating that these two are separate things, that most people, perhaps in fact everybody, has to go through this process of realizing that there is separation between those two. Because if we collapse the two and we are, we believe that the light source and the stained glass window is all just one thing, and we are of our experience and our experience is of us, then we have no control, or we have no ability to change or heal, or any of those things. Yeah, I could do a ramble on this. Maybe it's time. No, there's no separate Discord for Love and Audio. It's a very simple Patreon. I upload lives. Lives are available to watch on the Orcus Auditory Patreon. I also have some available on my YouTube channel. Okay, next request is from an author called Zoe Johansson. And it goes like this. Will you hold my hand for a little while? I don't need you to save me. No need for you to fix anything. No need for you to hold my pain. But will you simply hold my hand? I do not need your words, your thoughts, nor your shoulders to carry me. But will you sit here for a while with me? Whilst my heart it shatters, whilst my mind plays tricks on me, will you with your presence let me know that I'm not alone, whilst I wander into my inner unknown? For my darkness is mine to face, my pain is mine to feel, and my wounds are mine to heal. But will you sit with me here while I courageously show up for it all, my dear? For I am bright because of my darkness, beautiful because of my brokenness, and strong due to my tender heart. But will you take my hand lovingly when I sometimes journey into the dark? I don't ask for you to take my darkness away. I don't expect for you to brighten my day, and I don't believe that you can mend my pain. But I would surely love if you could sit for a while and hold my hand until I find a way out of my shadowland. So will you hold my hand until I return? That was by Zoe Johansson. Yeah, so all of these conversations about spirituality and living solo and, just what it means to move into a way of being where we are not being, where we're not living in self-betrayal anymore. That's going to be the theme. That is the theme of Love and Audio, the other Patreon that I'm building. My real first name is no secret. My real first name is Evan. I've been doing TikTok, I think for 3 years now. Since 2021. I started my TikTok in June of 2021. A new request called Roses and Rue by Oscar Wilde. Could we dig up this long-buried treasure? Were it worth the pleasure, we never could learn love's song. We parted, we are parted too long. Could the passionate past that has fled call back its dead? Could we live it all over again? Were it worth the pain? I remember we used to meet by an ivied seat, and you warbled each pretty word with the air of a bird, and your voice had a quaver in it, just like a linnet, and shook as the blackbird's throat with its last big note. And your eyes, they were green and gray like an April day, but lit into amethyst when I stopped and kissed. And your mouth, it would never smile for a long, long while, then it rippled all over with laughter 5 minutes after. You were always afraid of a shower, just like a flower. I remember you started and ran when the rain began. I remember I never could catch you, for no one could match you. You had wonderful luminous feet, little wings to your feet. I remember your hair. Did I tie it? For it always ran riot, like a tangled sunbeam of gold. These things are old. I remember so well the room and the lilac bloom that beat at the dripping pane in the warm June rain. And the color of your gown, it was amber brown, and 2 yellow satin bows from your shoulders rose. And the handkerchief of French lace, which you held to your face, had a small tear left to stain, or was it the rain? On your hand, as it waved adieu, there were veins of blue, adieu. In your voice, as it was said, goodbye, was a petulant cry. You have only wasted your life. Ah, that was the knife. When I rushed through the garden gate, it was all too late. Could we live it over again, were it worth the pain? Could the passionate past that has fled call back its dead? Well, if my heart must break, dear love, for your sake, it will break in music, I know. Poets' hearts break so. But strange that I was not told that the brain can hold in a tiny ivory cell God's heaven and hell. Orcus is a Roman name for the god of the underworld, Hades. And I was a big fan of Greek mythology when I was a kid. And Hades was always the scariest figure in my in my mind, but I related to him a lot. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I landed on the name. How about a request, May I Feel, Said He, by E. E. Cummings. Strap in. May I feel, said he. I'll squeal, said she. Just once, said he. It's fun, said she. May I touch, said he. How much, said she. A lot, said he. Why not, said she. Let's go, said he. Not too far, said she. What's too far, said he. Where you are, said she. May I stay, said he. Which way, said she. Like this, said he. If you kiss, said she. May I move, said he. Is it love, said she. If you're willing, said he. But you're killing, said she. But it's life, said he. But your wife, said she. Now, said he. How, said she. Tip-top, said he. Don't stop, said she. Oh, no, said he. Go slow, said she. Come, said he. Said she. You're divine, said he. You are mine, said she. Said he. That was May I Feel, Said He, by E. E. Cummings. All right. Drink your water, everybody, and breathe. Shh. Good. This next request is going to be really spicy. It's the lyrics to the theme song of Animaniacs told spicy. It's time. and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax. You'll laugh till you collapse. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister Dot. Just for fun we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught. But we break loose and then vamoose. And now you know the plot. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks, while Bill Clinton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. Meet Pinky and the Brain, who want to rule the universe. Good feathers flock together, Slappy whacks 'em with her purse. Buttons chases Mindy, while Rita sings a verse. The writer's flipped, we have no script. Why bother to rehearse? We're Animaniacs. We have pay or play contracts. We're zany to the max. There's baloney in our slacks. We're Animani. Totally insane. Here's the show's namey. Animaniacs. Those are the facts. Well, I think I've just ruined my own childhood. Yeah. Uh-huh. Let's see. The last request is a slight change in tone. I'm feeling better, definitely. This request is The English Lady and the Knight by Sir Walter Scott. It was an English lady bright, the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall, and she would marry a Scottish knight, for love will still be lord of all. Blithely they saw the rising sun when he shone fair on Carlisle wall. But they were sad ere day was done, though love was still the lord of all. Her sire gave brooch and jewel fine, where the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall. But her brother gave but a flask of wine, for ire that love was lord of all. For she had lands both meadow and lea, where the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall. For he swore her death ere he would see a Scottish knight be the lord of all. That wine she had not tasted well, the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall. When dead in her true love's arms she fell, for love was still the lord of all. He pierced her brother to the heart, where the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall. So perish all, would true love part, that love may still be lord of all. And then he took the cross divine, where the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall, and died for her sake in Palestine, so love was still the lord of all. Now all ye lovers that faithful prove, the sun shines fair on Carlisle wall. Pray for their souls who died for love shall be lord of all. The English Lady and the Knight by Sir Walter Scott. Well, how did I spend my day? Oh, I don't know. Just catching up on jet lag, really. I spent a bit of time over in the East. I spent some time over in Tennessee and Kentucky over the past week. Did I enjoy the Quinn Olympics? Yes, I did. It was a very close call. Very competitive all around. Big shout out to all of the other creators, because they're all very lovely people. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday is coming up on the 3rd. So, thank you. The tracksuit was, it looked good, but it definitely was not a real tracksuit, because, it didn't breathe at all. We were all just covered in a layer of sweat under these tracksuits after that whole thing was done. Thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody. The birthday, my birthday is. I'm trying to get out of the cult of numbers around birthdays. I am forever just embodying a young spirit, so that's where I'm at. No, the Quinn Olympics have not been fully released yet. You can find the introduction to the Quinn Olympics on Instagram. I believe it just got released. It's featuring Zach Cowman and Chris Yamez. I am the answer to the ultimate question this coming year. Okay. I feel like certain generations, and I'm not saying everybody, because I know present company, there are plenty of people who are in many different age groups, but I think that there has been a bad rap given to people over a certain age because of other people in our sort of generational age group. And I actually think that most people are pretty cool if you give them a chance. Um, all right, everybody. Shh. Let's have a little moment to ourselves, hey? Now imagine just taking a breath. And if you slow down your breathing enough, you can begin to let your mind hear the breath moving in and out of your body. And start feeling and hearing the breath as if it's the wind. And if you want, you can imagine, you can hear the faint ringing of a wind chime blowing in the breeze, the rustling of leaves, a nice patio overlooking the forest out in front of you. And you can sit back and lay down and just feel the texture of the cloudy cushions beneath you. The smell of the crisp air. The calls of the birds. And you can let yourself relax as you breathe and invite in your favorite partner, your favorite person to cuddle with. Let them come and hold you. Perfect presence. Letting that feeling flow from your toes, up through your body, out to your fingertips. And you can feel your body moving slowly, vibrating, both calm and alive. Breathing deeply. Breathing deeply. The wind, the birds, the trees. The beauty of the moment. All right, everyone. Thank you all. Sending you all of you much love. I always enjoy hanging out with you. And if you would like to be ready to put in any requests for next week's reading, you can go to my profile and explore the Patreon. The Patreon is where I take requests. So thank you. I love you. And I will talk to you soon. Okay. Bye, everybody.